Everybody, getting a little bit closer to the proper start time, but I know still showing up late. I hope you're all doing well. I'll confess, actually, a little bit of a dilemma in terms of what game I was going to play tonight. The plan was definitely to go for more Godless, but I was actually really feeling like Dead Space again. But I don't know. I think the thing is that Dead Space is correctly and widely regarded as a very good remake, whereas Godless is a I don't want to say surprisingly good because I feel like that would be quite disrespectful to Dino Kalupa, the developer. Um, but the surprise for me maybe comes down to the fact that it is in a genre or related to a genre, which is one that I haven't really been able to sort of get a handle on. And I don't know, it's just one of these things where when you have a game which has come across your radar, it could be, through an offer if you're a content creator, or it could be through, a friend recommending, even, a Steam recommendation. Sorry, I need to sneeze. There's a lot of different ways that these things come up, but it's hard sometimes to get a read on what's going to sort of speak to you. And in this case, I think Godless has done a very good job of that. So, excuse me. With that in mind, I don't think there's value in, I don't think there's a lot of value in running in and, playing something that you're not interested in out of a sense of obligation. I'm playing this because I want to play it. But with that in mind, sort of, I started off today sort of saying, I should change it up. The thing is, if I change it up, I'm not going to be able to do Godless on Friday. That's going to be Cyberpunk. Now, I believe we were partway through a run. So if I hit continue, I'm curious where we're going to be. I believe this game's also gotten a couple of updates since we last played it, but I suspect there are not going to be any major changes. All right, so we are in Dim Onyo. The magical seal of Dim Onyo, a powerful artifact keeping hordes of demons underground, is protected here by mighty warriors. Now, one drawback here is we've made some progress. Obviously, I've filled out all of the spells or skills or whatever these count as on my own. I'm trying to remember. I believe I have ascended under cruelty once. Oh man, that's actually really strong. Base stats of all dead allies. So yeah, the thing is that I don't know if I'll have this immediate recall of some of my abilities. But you know what? Let's. I think in this case here, we just push ahead, we learn, and we try to do as well as we can. So we're up against a couple of wandering mages, gains an extra attack and health on move. An archaeologist, which destroys adjacent tiles. Enraged ogre, stuns adjacent enemies. We have a mechanical golem, which creates chain lightning, which electrocutes multiple enemies. Winds of Change creates random tiles from another act. An explosive rune, enemies destroy tiles they step on. Let us begin. So the swamps are nice, but if they destroy tiles on arrival, I'm not sure that's going to get me a whole lot. I don't think I have faith. Okay. So I probably want to stick myself in the corner here. That's interesting that the shrine counts as being summoned not next to the shrine. Very philosophical. All right, so I definitely want to be damaging the mages. We've got the Elementalist adds 1 to adjacent allies, 5 damage to adjacent enemies. 4 damage to any unit, and corrupt it, 12 damage if it's already corrupted. Crystal Demon. Oh, that's right, that's right. Now I'm thinking I'm going to want to... I'm probably going to want some more of these guys, but I also don't want to put them in a situation where they will be... the enemy will be able to retaliate. So I suppose my alternative is to put down the Crystal Demon. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to put down an Elementalist. Of course you wind up in the swamp. I think that's on me for putting it there, actually, but... I'm going to save the mana. Okay, so yeah, everybody's going to move the way that I want. I can lower the damage by not using mana. It's probably a good idea. Sabotage! This is actually really bad because these guys are now going to turn around and attack my units. So my sort of emergency break here is to drop a couple of assassins on the enemy here. So these two, I can't expect them to survive the enemy attacks here, so I'm not even going to try. What I am going to do, though, is invest in building up my attack capabilities while this gets dealt with. This will be sacrifices chosen ally and turns into 3 cursed spirits. This one does less damage. I can't get enough of that swamp. So part of this too is about getting that bone horror built up. But the fact that these two are together and buffing each other is a major liability. Sorry, just got a text message from someone. Okay, how do I handle this? I can certainly try the Mark of Darkness. That actually wouldn't be a terrible idea. And this is 3 health and grants intimidation to a chosen ally on turn 4. So I think I'll settle for the shrine here. It's not the most exciting of the choices I could have made, but it does the trick. I would have thought that this unit should be getting 3 damage from the Azure Curse. Aldrins, thank you very much for resubscribing. 19 months. It's appreciated. I hope you're doing well. I think we're going to keep trying with the Mark of Darkness. Oh, this guy's going to move on this tile. This is going to be a problem. That really hurts. So let's do transfer soul. The 3/3 is a concern. I think I'll still copy this unit. We need to do as much damage as we can on this unit, but honestly, like with 20 left on my shrine, I don't actually see a lot of ways where we make it to the other end of this. So I could bring in another Darkblade Assassin. Well, that or I could try and combine Blazing Soul with something. But no, the 9 and the 9 will be sufficient to take this unit out, so I'm going to add another Assassin. I completely forgot. I completely forgot about that. That ability. That liability, if you will. Alright, so quicksands into sandstorms. I'm gonna settle for sand chaos. Bone Horror. +2/+1 for each dead unit. Stuns adjacent enemies and destroys adjacent tiles. Yeah, so this is the one we want to take out first. That's a respectable little number there. And then when I get Ether, So this is just to apply the curses sooner. Unfortunate, but them's the breaks. At this point, I don't think it would hurt for me to add another assassin at this point. There might be some value in saving up for the Mark of Darkness, but I think right now we need to start building up our ability to damage the folks. Sulfea, lovely to see you. I got a question for you. Does this seem like the sort of game you might be interested in streaming? I realize that this is kind of off the beaten path for you in terms of what you normally play, but I actually don't know how you feel about auto battlers and related games. This doesn't look so good for my assassin. Oh, you can't hear it work, you can't see, no idea. Well, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this when you are free. Okay. So this guy's going to try and plow through my assassin. I guess the question is, do I want to try and bring another assassin in, or do we just call it a day here and wait for... I think I got to wait on Mark of Darkness. Yeah, fair. You mostly play games with combat in spite of the combat, not because of it. Well, the funny thing about this one is, like, the funny thing about the auto battler genre, it's one that's taken me a long time to get into. So these are games like Teamfight Tactics or Dota Underlords or Auto Chess. And basically, the idea here is that you can put the pieces down and you can, you can kind of create conditions that are favorable to you, but you don't actually get to directly control the combat. Now that doesn't necessarily mean, like, people have different ideas of combat, right? So for some people, if it isn't Wolfenstein, it's not combat. And then, you have someone who maybe likes Civilization, and they'll be like, you have to have turn-based combat, because that's, the heart and soul of a war game. But on the other hand, you have people who play Civilization like SimCity, and as soon as they run into another Civ, they stop playing the game. They just load up a new one. I used to know someone who was exactly like that, and they were like a massive Sim fan. So, Civ fan, sorry. They also like The Sims, but that's neither here nor there. It sounds like strategy and tactics. That's definitely not you. Okay, fair. But yeah, no, it's interesting what brings people into these kinds of things. Sorry, I got a former coworker who's messaging me, so. You are a button masher, turn the difficulty down type. We don't lower the difficulty here. But for those of you who do like button mashing, difficulty turning down stream, Sulfea is a wonderful Australian broadcaster who I'm actually very happy to see in the channel here. I met Sulfea through Dendrian, who hosted on Monday, just as we were wrapping up Dead Space. Sulfea is a very patient streamer with me. Curiously, I mean, I guess we've kind of got past the point where we get to say you always seem to be playing my time at Sandrock, because I have actually come into your channel with a couple of other games which Which word? Actually, I'm trying to remember. Were you playing the hidden cat? No, I think that was. Sorry, sweeps the pillow clean. There was a hidden cat game. Like you had to find the cats, kind of like Where's Waldo, or if you're from the UK, Where's Wally? Maybe that is an Australian thing too. You may be returning to Sandrock on Friday. All right. Well, for those of you who've just been dying to see my time at Sandrock, that is a great reason to... oh, you have? Okay, great. I don't know if you'd played them on stream or not, but for those of you maybe wondering why I might be confused about this, Salfea also has a lovely cat named Tux that does tend to make... tends to make appearances on their stream, and I'm sure that is I mean, the saying goes, cats get stats, so who can argue with that? But in any case, I would definitely say that personalities are the big reason why I will recommend streams. I never really know well, actually, I guess I would say probably a bit like how a little bit how, you know, sometimes games work, right? You don't necessarily know what game is, you know, people are going to love. You don't necessarily know, you know, sometimes you'll recommend something to a streamer and it actually turns out to be the exact opposite of what they like. But I can definitely say one of the most consistent features of broadcasts that I like, and the broadcasts that people seem to have enjoyed the most when they come to this channel, have definitely been the personalities behind it. And so with that in mind, Salfea's stream has that tremendous strength going for it, on top of the fact that she's actually very fun to, you know, very fun to watch, and has an interesting and varied taste in games, although I seem to completely miss out on it. Anyways, it's lovely to see you here. I hope your day at work goes well. I'll understand if I don't get a chance to interact with you that much, but I appreciate your presence nonetheless. All right, we're burning that on a funeral pyre, and let's make the bone horror even scarier. Now, if I want, I can do 12 damage to the already corrupted ogre. I think that's a good idea here. So depending on how close the enemies are in terms of generating, we have a fighting chance. Oh, we are so screwed. Oh, we are using perfect balance for sure. It's not a lot, but I will take anything I can to get out of this trouble. I'm going to add the attack to the Bone Horror, and the idea here is that this is going to get me the extra ether, which is going to make my people stronger. So I don't have a lot to go on right now. I do want to get the curse on this ogre as quickly as possible. I think the problem here is this unit's going to break out pretty quickly, and it's going to cause us all sorts of trouble. The one thing we do potentially have going for us is a quick death on the mechanical golem, at which point we might be able to turn that into more damage on this unit. So I gotta see the order in which people are going to attack. So the ideal, of course, would be if I can take out this unit. I think... So I think the best I can do here... not. That doesn't work either. So we'll still survive, and we'll definitely be able to take out the ogre here. Consume soul or transfer soul? Ah! I think I need to stop doing that. 3 damage is a lot to take on at the health that I'm at. So amazingly, we made it past this continent. I need to put everything I can into healing up the shrine. We have a Spark of Fire, which we can use to enhance one of our skills. I think the Ferocious Bear gets wasted, and then Nature Energy might... I think I'm going to go for the Bird in the Hand with the Spark. Okay. So this is going to get scary as hell for the next one. Oh my god, we're up against a boss too? I don't see us passing this. Okay. But let's put a brave face on it. So we'll go to the forge to build our bonus. We can give up soul drain for ether. Okay, I'm gonna use the hidden workshop first. We're clearing out our ether doing this. Okay, I basically have to do the obelisk. I don't hate the Orc Warlord. Battle speed rewards is mighty tempting here, though. Okay, can't spend any points, so let's see what fire and... So Blood Ruby steals 1 attack from the target. That is mighty tempting there. And on death, sets the attack of any adjacent unit to this unit's attack. I think I'm going to settle for the fire. So we're going to put that on the Darkblade Assassin. I'm definitely going to need to put some thought into how I take on the elements. Okay. Clear sky, no natural disasters will happen on this continent. And exhaustion. Enemies have no special effects? Interesting. Paradise. The Council of Pharaohs aims to make this land their very own paradise, and in doing so will deny the people here their freedoms. Sons of the Elements, elementals deal direct damage to enemies and buff one another. So, let's see how this goes. Sons of the Elements, first beings. So first task is to place the shrine. So I don't know what they mean by no special effects, but seems to me like... seems pretty special to me. Passive, other bosses' abilities work twice while they are adjacent to this unit. Adds +3/+3 to adjacent allies when it moves, and on enter corrupts the no, that can't be right. Deals 4 damage to all enemies adjacent to all bosses on attack. So if I had a way of reducing Noxon's damage, okay, so I've got the Elementalist, which adds health. I've got the Mark of Darkness that hurts the Corrupt. So I guess, here's what I'm thinking. This seems scary as hell to put this unit down here, right? But if I take my unit that steals attack, so this seems to me like they should steal all the attack for all of these units. So by the time this unit gets to my shrine, they're not actually able to do anything about it. So I'm definitely going to want more units like this piling on this guy, because he will damage my shrine. Oh, and I was off by 1 on this, so he is going to get 1 damage in. But again, the key here is to eliminate the sources of damage before they can before they get out of control. Yeah, so there's that one damage I was worried about. There's a couple things that I can do to angle things to my favor. So I'm going to end the turn right now. Okay, so this is sacrifice a chosen ally to turn 3. I don't need to worry about the cursed spirits. Hello, Master Crowther. How are you doing? So the good news here is that this unit doesn't do any damage directly, right? And that's going to be true for Gallant as well. I do need to be a little bit worried about the units getting together. So this unit, when it moves, gives +3/+3 to adjacent allies. I remember the name. I'm trying to attach you to a specific thing that I am unhappy with you for. But definitely that is a name that I remember. I think you might have come from Jesse Quill's channel, if I'm not mistaken. So Nox and passive, other bosses' abilities work twice when they're adjacent to this unit. Well, again, if I'm not... if this unit's not moving, I don't need to worry about that. Oh, thank you. I don't know about a great memory, but I'm happy I at least got that one. But yeah, the thing I do need to worry about is this unit being next to the shrine. So we basically want to kill this thing as fast as possible. One thing I might do is absorb the assassin into one of these other ones attacking right now. Yes, well, I know you, in terms of you with the stream, oh, sorry. Anyways, sorry. Stream-wise, I'm pretty sure you were in fairly early to my... I'm so sorry. My chat is... Oh, Christ. Sorry. I'm pretty sure I just closed my chat window in OBS. Let me just bring it back here. I don't have that command. Sorry. Master Crowther. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you've been here for with a channel for a pretty long time. Would have probably been in grad school around the time that I think I remember chatting with you. Hey, and we've got Lord Gloom here too. You've been here for 7 months and Chalk still remembers you playing Cobalt Core 7 months ago. I suppose the better thing would be remembering what you played yesterday. But I should ask Lord Gloom, is this your type of game? I was asking Sulfea this, but I have actually been looking, and actually let me take a minute and talk up Lord Gloom. So and I realize there are a few more people in here, so if you haven't checked out Sulfea, please do. I don't want to completely redo every shout out each time I do it, or each time somebody comes in. But you have it in your stream. Excellent. That is wonderful to hear. So I have been trying to get the word out a little bit on Godless, just because it's always a little weird when I really enjoy a game and I'm the one streaming it, but I like don't have anybody to host, and that's always kind of an indicator to sort of say to some folks, hey, you know, is this something you're considering? And then I know, you know, I want to where I can get the word out, and I'm not above. Sometimes if I'm, you know, if I was given a key for a game, I don't necessarily mind like trying to buy something and pass that along. But anyways, Lord Gloom has sort of anticipated what I was going to be talking about. I originally saw Lord Gloom through Cobalt Core. Now, with all of that in mind, it turns out that Lord Gloom has a lot of overlap with stuff that I'm interested in, whether they're Secret Histories games. I was actually watching them play Magic the Gathering around the time that I was watching Prosciutto Fist play Magic the Gathering. And I think you might have been the one that we were talking about the old Microprose Magic the Gathering with. That would be a wonderful one to stream if I could find a way to play it. But in any case, definitely somebody with a wide variety of games, but also games that I really enjoy. And I think probably one of the most rewarding moments over the last little while has been to have Lord Gloom kind of go from a point where they were a bit lukewarm on Phantom Brigade to seeming to quite enjoy it. And I felt the GOG the one with the issue. Well, look, I mean, I've streamed on the GOG channel, so I don't want to. Now doesn't seem to be the time to sort of litigate those particular ones, but we can chat individually, Algrins. And I'm sorry, Master Crowther, I don't mean to ignore you. I do want to get through the. I do want to talk up Lord Gloom to folks, and then give you the sort of the dedicated time as opposed to jumping in between it, but yeah, with Lord Gloom, it was wonderful to just sort of see them play Phantom Brigade and really seem to get into the game. And I think the thing that matters the most on that one, because I know it was one that had sort of fallen off the wish list. I think everybody's kind of got that experience of having too many games to play and not wanting to have sort of the lists kind of become overwhelming. And you don't need to go that far, Algrins. But yeah, no, we can talk after if you want. I don't feel an obligation not to say bad things about it. I just also think it's sometimes annoying. I'd rather talk up people than sit down and like just, you know, kvetch about something. So anyways, I definitely recommend Lord Gloom. In terms of overlapping interests, as well as just somebody who's sort of brought my attention to games maybe I wouldn't have tried and played myself. Definitely somebody who I can recommend for that one. Well, Alpha Centauri was available on EA Play and is now available on Steam too, though. All right, so Master Crowther, you had your wife, lost 3 children. After that, you started hating each other, and now it's all good. I hope that now it's all good, as in things are better now. That sounds like a lot to go through, and I don't think there is anything I can possibly say, especially as a streamer who hasn't kind of been in contact with you on a regular basis. I don't even know if there's anything I can really say on this in a meaningful way, but I'm glad that, I mean, given the fact that you've had a couple of LOLs in the chat, I'm hoping that at least means that you have, I don't want to say like have a sense of humor about it, but like you are in manageable spirits, passable spirits. But I am incredibly sorry to hear that. Oh no. Sorry to hear that, Master Crowther. Really? Jesus. I feel like I can't be playing games right now. This seems like some really heavy stuff you guys are going through. Really? Yeah, sorry. I obviously get to complain about my own very petty things, and I don't always get to hear some of the background for some of you. So, um, I'm going to. I apologize. I am going to talk a bit about the game, and it feels like there's no appropriate response to that. But I am happy to go back and forth as we go through. So. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that. Um, so I think what I'm going to be doing with this is Mark of Darkness on Killmire. And again, the reasoning here is that I suspect with this unit, if they attack the shrine, they're still going to do the 4 damage, even though I've got their damage down to 0. The other danger is that they will be landing on the broken seal, which will bring this unit adjacent to it. And I don't think there's any way that I can destroy that particular item. So this is a high priority unit to take out. Well, please don't take that as like a prohibition of talking about quote-unquote bad stuff in the channel. I'm just kind of conscious of the fact that it's like, oh, I lost these things, or this terrible thing happened to me in life, and I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. Anyway, back to my little game here. Like, obviously I don't want to be... There's a way of making that sound so incredibly callous, and that is definitely not what I want to do. So this unit should die to the shrine. Okay, that sucks, but we've got the backup here. No, that's fine. I mean, I think, so my view has always been, you want to create an environment in which people do feel comfortable being themselves and talking about things that matter to them. But the one thing that I always, obviously my job is also to try and play the game and be as entertaining as at least I'm capable of. And I never want that tension between the two to result in someone feeling like they can't talk about something that matters to them. No, I mean, who wouldn't be upset with something like that, Master Crowther? I mean, I think that's the key there, right? Like, I could not imagine something like that happening to me, and I'm very sorry that it did, so. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Algrid, sorry to hear that. So again, continuing on this approach of taking out Gilmar early. Now this is a danger that this unit's going to walk onto this broken seal. I actually also didn't see where this unit will be moving. Yep. That sort of sucks, but they're also done pretty soon. There's the 4 damage we were expecting. Now that could have turned into a disaster. So I don't want to repeat consume. I don't want to repeat that disaster, but this unit's going to be moving away, so we're fine. Now, one thing I'm going to do here, I do still need the extra health, so I'm going to take the time to do light and dark. Ooh, careful about that. I'm going to see if I can avoid the damage. No, I have to damage this thing. So if I take the turn... Yeah, I think I'm okay using Light and Dark again. That'll at least make up for the Broken Seal. Um, but yeah, this turned out well. I mean, let's face it. I started off saying I was gonna die, and we're now up 29. It would have been nice to get the extra experience. We were one turn short on that, but I think we played that as well as we could. No, you definitely did make me do it. I am responsible for my own mistakes, Master Crowther. I don't think there's any streamer that will. Okay, I do prefer to try and stay on the positive side of this, but I am going to tell you a little bit of a. I'm going to tell you a bit of a story. Obviously, you don't really know. So one of the things I always feel a little unsure about is whenever I do these shoutouts, right? Because, you know, we've got Selphea in here, we've got Lord Gloom, you know, wonderful broadcasters, people I'm very happy to see and talk up. We've, you know, I mentioned Prosciutto Fist earlier. That's a streamer that I've really enjoyed. In fact, one of the few streamers that, like, I will set aside an important thing that I'm doing to be able to hang out for a little bit. And one of the things, the thing is, though, you never know what's going to happen, like, over time, right? Where you know, maybe, I don't know, I'll deeply offend Lord Gloom in some personal way, and I'll get an all capital letters email in my Discord telling me what a terrible person I am. It's an eternal rift, you know, and I no longer feel in a point where I can continue to shout them out. You know, basically, it kind of comes down to a point, you know. So what, do you hold back a little bit in terms of the shoutouts on the odd chance that things don't turn out? Well, no, that doesn't seem to be the right way to go about it. You know, it's just, if things do turn out that way, you just sort of, I don't know, maybe learn for the next time, or if nothing else, you know, it's just, that's a problem that sort of solves itself. You know, they don't come around, and you're not gonna have to take the time to shout it out. And, you know, to a certain extent, you can't even really say that the quality of the content changed. It just happened to be that there was, you know, something different that happened. Sorry to out you there, Lord Gloom. I'll completely understand if you send an all capital letters message into my Discord. But yeah, there was one. So there have definitely been some cases where I visit some people's channels and I hang out and I try to participate, and it's not necessarily because I think it's the best use of my time. But there will be some times where, you know, either I'm trying to show some support, or, you know, they're a friend of a friend or whatever. And, or there will be some times where, you know, you get into a streamer and maybe, you know, things change, they change, you change, whatever it is, and it's no longer as interesting. And I desperately remember there was one who I think was originally part of a stream team I was on, or at least they wanted to be part of the stream team. And they'd been trying for a really long time, and they'd pivoted a bunch of different ways. Like, they tried to sort of become one of these, like, positivity and, like, self-improvement influencers and such. And then they had this thing for a really long time where, like, they would announce that they were quitting, and they'd, like, close their channel, and then they'd start a brand new one. And I think maybe the idea behind that was it's a little bit easier to keep your hype up when you've got, like, a small channel that's growing by a very large percentage each time. But obviously, you know, if you don't stick through those gloomy times, you don't necessarily see the overall growth that you might want, right? But I remember for this guy, he was playing Fortnite, and this was one of the things, like, you know, I tried. There's no real, like, way you can say this to someone, but I was just sort of thinking, is like, you know, perhaps, you know, if you really want to see this huge growth that that you seem to want, like, maybe not playing the game that, you know, 6,000 other channels are playing are. So on one day, he was rated by, I'm pretty sure, the #1 Fortnite streamer on the platform at that time, and they'd been, like, getting drunk, and it was basically like, let's go, blow the mind of someone in like the bottom of the Fortnite thing. And it just happened to be like, out of all of the different channels, his was the one that got picked. And like, there's a version of this story that says, all of these people, I need a place to stay. No, I don't need a place to stay. I'm not sure if that was intended for my channel or not, but I will be finishing the tale in a bit. So there's one version of this story where someone says, and that was the day that, this community discovered this diamond in the rough streamer, and a bunch of people sort of followed. And then after that point, it didn't make their career, but then they were getting, consistently double and triple digit views. They won people over, and, that was kind of the start of their career. But that's not what happened. First of all, he was really into the game, so he didn't notice the raid. And at that point, I wasn't like a mod or anything like that, but I did my best to sort of welcome folks and say, yeah, sorry, he's been really, really concentrated on the game. I'm sure he'll be delighted to see how many people. And to give you an idea, just so I can say, like, I wasn't like snitty with this guy at the start or something like that, I actually took a screenshot of him at the top of Fortnite as the result of this host. And so he sees it, and sure enough, it blows his mind that he's there. I think the streamer had like long since left by the time that he noticed it. But people in chat were like, giving him a little encouragement or whatever, especially as soon as he found it out. And then he keeps playing, and he's losing. And he proceeds to blame chat for why he's playing poorly. And some people, and I mean, this is where you start seeing the like concurrent views drop like a stone. But, there are some people still kind of going along. Like, I think there are some people genuinely saying, like, this guy has probably never had this many people in his channel before. They had a little bit of fun with it. And, I kind of try and be myself, alongside with that. But, like, it is about the closest I have seen to someone just, like, completely choking as a broadcaster on Twitch. Like, that was such a wonderful opportunity. And like, it just turned into, it was never like overtly hostile with the chat. And yet he so clearly lost chat once he started blaming them for him losing his Fortnite matches. And it's like, it's Fortnite. The majority of matches you play are probably going to be losses. But what astonished me afterwards was when, he sent me some DMs afterwards, like, hey, I try to be a place where people can be themselves, but like, your attitude really like turned people off of the channel, so I'm gonna have to ask you, just be a little more positive inside of the stream. And I'm like, are you for real? So, needless to say, I did not feel compelled to stay around in that channel. But, anyways, in terms of the, this was my long version in terms of like, to what Master Crowther said, make it about yourself or wanting people to sort of feel. So when you said, sorry if I made you do bad. I think it's really important. Like, there are definitely times when I go on long tangents. This is one of them. And I know some people really like the long tangents, but I also realize it can be one of those ways where someone who would otherwise like the channel because I play unusual games or because, I have a unique take on things, I'm not going to say I am without positive aspects, but I know some of those things about me are things that really turn people off the channel as well. Also, the fact that I don't like backseating, right? That is a thing that causes people who might otherwise be big fans of the channel to cause a negative encounter that, turns them off the channel. But I think there's a really important difference in terms of, like, to me, there are a couple of lines that you don't want to cross. So, like, for instance, I know there's any number of times where I could say, it's like, oh, I wouldn't talk so much if you didn't give me things to say. And it's like, well, excuse me for participating in your channel. I'll make sure I never make that mistake again, right? like the biggest thing is just like move on with it too. Because the other thing that I know too, especially from moderating, is like there's very few things that are like irredeemable sins, right? It's usually someone's reaction to something that makes it permanent. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's just one of these things where like I've in the end I kind of need to be I'll be responsible for whatever metrics I think are important for the stream. Ideally the best metric is, did I enjoy it? Did other people enjoy it? Is probably the one I should care about. You know, did people feel they were able to share what was important to them? Were they able to see the game, ideally in a positive light, right? Like, I realize I'm not going to be the reason why, Danil Kalupa's gaming career launches. I am hoping, though, that there are few people who might have never heard about Godless are able to take a look at this game. Or maybe those people who are curious about the game have at least one other content creator to take a look at and say, oh, okay, this thing's okay. And, if you're watching on YouTube, you can fast forward through me monologuing or something like that. But yeah, I mean, in the end, I've never wanted to, and again, like I said, I know that was kind of a throwaway line that Master Crowther said, but I think the really important thing here is that I've always felt very bad whenever I see chat blamed for stuff. So I never want people to feel like they're in a position where that is the sentiment, and I definitely don't want people feeling like they are a cause for that. Even if I am on tilt from something that happens in chat, right? Like, I should just learn to deal with it, especially because it's a game, for God's sake. It's like, it's not like I'm actually going to die. If you die in Godless, you do not die in real life, as far as I can tell. So anyways, the lesson here is buy Godless. It's a good game. Let me see if I can bring up that Steam page, because I'm one of those influencing influencers. Princely sum of $12.99. You too can enjoy Godless 1.0, a game that's already got some patches, and to sweeten the deal, at no cost to you beyond perhaps a small cost in terms of bandwidth, I will point out that you can join the Discord community. This is different from the Brace Yourself Discord community. So Godless now has its own Discord server, and if you are so inclined, you can join. You will be able to speak directly with the developer. You can also see what some other people are up to in terms of playing the game, and the sort of feedback that the game's going on. So I will say Danil is very engaged with his community. In fact, personally messaged me at one point based off of a couple of things in the stream, which I was delighted to hear from, because I just think it's cool to talk to game developers about what they do. I'm convinced they have magical powers. But I can definitely tell you my experience of this game through its early access period is that it's a very, very engaged developer who wants this game to be as best as possible, and has seemed to have been very, very receptive to what the community has to say. Doesn't mean they'll do everything the community asks, but I definitely know that this is a game that is still being developed. Not to say that it's still in early access, but this is a game that is continuing to get some love, and if you want to have a role in shaping it, the Discord is for you, or if you just want to hang out with some cool people. I hope you all feel sufficiently influenced. All right, I believe that is Act 2 for us. So we have got Selfish Kindness. Your rampant crusade awakened demonic powers and released hordes of hell creatures from the underground. You send soldiers to hold the onslaught and unbury shards of ancient shrines hidden in the catacombs. So I get 18 health to the shrine each time I visit the forge, chamber, or merchant, but you cannot have more than 3 units on the battlefield excluding the shrine. That's a tough one, because definitely if I had that when I went after the bosses, I think the net amount of damage I would take from not having enough units on the table, I think that's too much. Oh, Extinction is probably the one I'm going for. The Sun Domain's inhabitants fled these lands as your forces overtook it and have remained hidden in hopes of returning home one day, but they will not. Despite the disapproval from your powerful allies, you spread a plague over these lands to bring death to anyone who dares to settle here again. Applies 1 poison to all enemies each turn, and you cannot see the merchant's goods nor view talents in the chamber. Finally, end of the dynasty. The stubborn offsprings of pharaohs threaten to rise again and liberate their people from your harsh rule. To retain power, you curse their bloodline with an ancient relic and condemn future generations to early deaths. Bosses have 25% less in terms of health and attack, but it shuffles the mana cost of all skills each turn. Oh man, actually that could work pretty well for me in some cases. Like if I get a 1 mana Crystal Demon? I think most of my stuff is 2 though. Yeah. So I'm going to risk not seeing the merchant's goods and talents in the chamber. We're going to go for extinction, which means I'm a real dick in this. I've got the Tyrannical Reign and extinction now. Okay. We are heading on to Ravenhold. Ravenhold was named after the planet's largest dwarf fortress before the gods razed it to ashes. So here we've got a dwarf warrior, takes extra turns by slaying units. We've got the Crystal Ogre, captures all adjacent northern cities. We have a Yeti Magician, doubles bonuses to attack and health. A Hermit, on death buffs all enemies on the battlefield. We've got Winds of Change, creates random tiles from another act. Judgment, enemies attack. What? Enemies attacks deal plus 11 damage to units with higher health. It's gonna get a little awkward. I think I'm gonna settle for the chamber and then the sanctuary. Mystery 1 or Mystery 2? Who knows? Beacon of Souls. Whenever an enemy's attack is changed, adds plus 3 health to a random ally. So my Darkblade Assassins are now some of the most powerful units in my arsenal. So if I sort of overbuff it for each 40 energy I put into it, plus 1 health. Alternatively, I can buy my way into greater strength. So let's start by getting the next talent. Again, we have absolutely no idea. This is Gift of the Forest. Grants regeneration to a chosen ally on turn 5. Now I'm going to guess here I'm not going to be able to... Well, this is 60 times 6, 360. Definitely don't have enough for that. I should be able to get the 20 though, just barely. And with that, the Volcanic Swords, whenever allies attack 5 times in total, create a lava field on the chosen hex. Woo! This is going to be a character building experience, I think. All right. No, it would have been nice to use some of that energy to boost these extra skills, but Rune of Power adds plus 2 attack to the shrine whenever enemy units enter an adjacent hex. Divine Protection, gain a defense plus 1, and Strong Will adds plus 3 health to allies summoned not next to the shrine. So I'm going to go for Divine Protection here. Normally I would pay for the next one, but again, not enough ether. So now we see what Ravenhold brings. I'm most worried about the Judgment here, but we'll see if we can work around it. The big problem here is going to be to try and deal with this 11, like this bonus 11. Hello, Mad Dad. Or Mad Ad. Thank you very much for your renewed subscription. I hope you're doing well. I believe that is 1/4 of, certainly not 1/4 of you following my stuff. I, of course, appreciate all of the time that you've put into the YouTube channel. But I am delighted that you've decided to continue supporting through Twitch as well, especially because I know this isn't necessarily the stuff you signed up for. So I hope you're doing well. Okay, so I think what we do here, put the shrine down. Now I have a little bit of a dilemma here in that my bone horror may not actually be that horrifying if I just chase these units down with a couple of Darkblade Assassins. But I'm not really sure what my alternative is going to be in this case. There is actually another little bit of awkwardness in the sense that this unit's going to be able to attack this cell here. Okay, well, you know what? Assassins for everyone. So part of this is about draining as much of the health of the, or as much of the attack of the enemy as I can in the opening turn. So as you can see, this combo is going to get a little stupid. I'm glad that's working for you. All right, whenever allies attack 5 times the total create. Oh, wow! Chosen Hex! I just wish I could see where these guys were moving. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I am going to encase the shrine in lava. That's right, it triggers adjacent shrines. Okay, that's fine. Now I can skip the... You know what, I think I'm gonna have... I think I just want to get all my assassins on the ground. Part of that is about also capturing these cities. So I think it's better for me to have like this opportunity to build up my. Oh, that's right. The corruption's gonna really cause some problems here. But yeah, I think the strategy of having a bunch of assassins running around creating problems is preferable. I'm gonna need to get a little careful once the health starts shifting, but I can't imagine this guy's gonna survive. But. More lava! I mean, one thing I could do is deny the enemy the city. This won't affect my unit here because they're not standing, or they didn't enter it. It's entering it at Hertzia. I have no idea what the hell did that. Oh, it's the 11. Oh, Jesus Christ. He might go under based on the corruption here. Oh, he made it. Okay, cool. Actually, that seems like a great way for this unit to wind up toast. So, what I'm going to do here, we definitely want to get more assassins protecting these areas. I'm going to want to turn someone into a cursed spirit. Or am I? I don't think I am. The funny thing is, I think this unit's actually going to wind up going in the drink. Oh no, they're not, because, yeah. Cities for it. All right, so again, following the definitely want this unit to attack. So as much as I would like to try and conserve some mana, I think the better move for me is to try and get some of these northern cities back. So again, want to do as much as I can. I want to surround the shrine with scary, dangerous things. We also have the good news where no unit, I don't think any unit is in danger of dying next. Oh, nope, this unit's going to die to the lava. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to stop that. So what I would have done under other circumstances would use Blazing Soul, but them's the breaks. I could put Emerald Defender on I could put Emerald Defender on one of these, but I'm going to put that on the shrine just in case we wind up in a tough spot. Pretty sure this unit's dead. Or maybe it's this one. We survived the lava. Oh man, this guy doesn't get hit by lava because... Interesting. I thought that was always an enemy thing. Entering enemies, holy hell. Lava is much more powerful than I thought. So if the enemies spawn on this side of the map, I am going to cry. Well, actually, the mountains are going to move anyway, so... Stop converting villages! Yeah. Alright. I can take my lumps. So at 3 of 3, there is something of an argument to... I think we just maximize the number of assassins. And against my better judgment, I am going to try and capture this. Oh, well, they're going to do that anyway. Alright, well, them's the breaks. This one is grants regeneration on a chosen ally on turn 5, regeneration plus 2 health each turn. You're joking. Oh my god, that was such a good turn for us. So the game crashed. We're gonna have to start at the beginning of that one. I fully expect this game to only crash when I'm losing. I was robbed there. That was... that was working out. But anyways, this is, I guess, like the assassin version of my nonsense obelisk strategy. I will mention, by the way, so between Old World and Godless, I'm thinking there might be something about the Unity engine and my processor that's causing these problems. I don't want it to seem like this game is particularly fragile. I think the crashes for this game kind of seemed to happen around the time of the Old World stuff. So I do apologize. I know it's a bit of a drag to watch me have to deal with all this stuff again. But I also want to be fair where I can. Regrettably, the cooler didn't fit in the computer, so considerably fewer villages this time. This is just silly, but 5 turns of immunity followed by hell on earth, because these things are going to move. But I do get to take some villages. Okay, I'm not crazy about setting up turns which are all about capturing assets, but in this case it's kind of justified because there's not a lot for me to do with the shrine right now. Actually, they might just move south to take the... Well, that's exactly what they do, so this guy's going to take damage for basically no reason. Anyway, where I can, I want to try and scoop up as much enemy damage as I can. That was a little foolish of me, but give him something to think about. Oh, that's just unfair. This unit's dead. So... I'm going to settle for a unit up here. Again, kind of hoping that they go after the dwarf. Nope, they're doing their own thing. So the problem with this is that my forces aren't that strong because they haven't been whacking the enemy units. And like this had 64 health to sort of get transferred into damage on these guys. And that's not really happening anymore. So we'll do our best to maybe carve up the dwarf a little bit better, but right now I'm kind of just banking on sort of this low and slow. Actually, it did just occur to me if I get rid of the mountains here. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Okay, well, I will continue to lay down obstacles where I can. Reassemble body. This is mostly just for the cruelty points. I guess one of the things I can do is sacrifice a few more Darkblade Assassins to be able to get the God of Blood bonus, but I don't know, like, that doesn't really feel like a... Oh, this giant turtle's actually going to become a real problem for the enemy. I like it. Okay, I'm going to summon another... This is, again, partly hoping that I can sneak the Northern City, which I do. Yeah, let's watch the magic happen. I can also convert something into a... Nah, these guys are perfectly good at taking away damage on their own. So again, the thing to remember is that once this guy's health gets sufficiently low, he is going to deal some pretty significant damage. But until that happens, I'm just trying to think, is there a tile that works best? I probably shouldn't be removing the number of towers. I can see myself... Well, we'll see how it goes in a couple turns. Do I want to add more assassins on the board? I think in this case I'm just going to end... Oh, damn it! I'm wasting mana now. A bit poorly considered on my part, but I'll make it up. Right. That was the special ability. So everybody gets a boost if I put down another +1. I could do light and dark to buff the shrine. Or I could put another assassin down. I think I'm going to settle for buffing the shrine. Oh, go to hell! That is way too close to the shrine. Surround the shrine. You know what? Swap places with 2 units. Go get him, killer. That is some straight up nonsense that just happened there. Well, this is going to get interesting. I think he's going to trigger the fortress. So again, we want to defend the shrine, so I'm going to keep putting the lava down. That's another factor behind having so many of these sort of small units. The more they attack, you know, the more lava I can generate. Although I should probably be using Blazing Soul a little more often. Again, I do have a chance to kind of carve up these units here. Morale boost. It's got the most health right now. This unit's gonna get pounded by the Hermit. These two are going to be locked in Mortal Kombat. Super Turtle. So same logic, you know, trying to do as much damage as we can on enemy units when we can. This unit's actually going to take some damage because of its adjacency to the sea, but I'm trying to think. I think it's 3 damage, so no, we may not actually get hit by the 12. I'm lucky if I don't get hit by the 12. The other thing to remember, right, is that any positive amount of damage that they do is still a problem. It's like this guy getting hit by 5 damage is going to be, is gonna, like, suck. So that's a bit of a problem. again, we continue to build the fortress around the shrine. You guys can't get enough of those swamps. So, yeah, even with 9 damage, like, a 14-17 is a great unit to have. 14-8 isn't so good. Hey, thank you for your sacrifice. Please enjoy the doubled damage. There can't be that many units boosting this thing. More than I thought. 10 health randomly split among allies is a good one to have. Obviously, I'd prefer it to go to the shrine, but I've already got the regen on the shrine, so I can't be too unhappy with that. This unit wants to move in here. I think adding these units still makes sense. We don't have the same advantage in terms of boosting up the horror anymore, but the biggest argument for putting more units on the table just simply comes from the fact that we get these turn-based bonuses to the northern cities anyway, so they do sort of slowly buff up over time. This place sucks for this guy. Alright, let's see what nonsense they spawn on us this time. Are you kidding me? Relocate any traversable tile to any hex or swap it with any tile. So we're going to matter exchange. I'm going to take this frozen lake and put it on the swamp. So it'll take the damage at the start of the turn, and then that actually looks like that only has 1 crack on it. So we need to curse it. That's going to be what this unit does. That is some straight up nonsense that the game just pulled on me. Especially given that the shrine is going to have a lot of health. Actually, it would have been better for me to put the assassin on this tile, because it would have guaranteed a fight between the two. No! Oh my god. I'm pretty sure this Yeti Magician is now going to eat my shrine alive. Yup. I was banking on that triggering it twice, and that duplicate is now... like, that just doesn't apply here. I screwed up big time on that. So... there's a very delicate operation that I need to do here. We'll get through it, but I need to be kind of careful in terms of how I let this thing sort of fall apart. So I get the advantage of 1 defense on the shrine. And what I want to do here is I want to make sure that so like the 82 damage is going to be 82 health is going to be a really hard, kind of hard target to overcome. So what I kind of need to do is once this thing is down to enough health, I need either to trigger the frozen lake again, or I need to do as much damage as possible to this unit as quickly as possible. Which means kind of sacrificing something like the 21 health Dark Blade Assassin and so on and so forth. This is more lava. Doesn't really mean anything. So I'm thinking probably what I want to do here is save up my mana. So again, all of this is about sort of mitigating the bonus damage that I'm going to wind up taking once he's down to 87. So part of this is buffing up my units as much as possible, and then giving myself the option to bring in more. So like for instance here, this next turn, I'm actually okay with this unit sort of doing some damage. It's once they're down to that 86 level that I worry. Okay, so we're going to get hit by the 11 this turn now because of the bonuses. No point in units standing in the swamp taking damage. If this unit doesn't die, I'm gonna be so mad. So it's 10 damage because of the defense. I suppose that's a small bonus, but I am going to skip for the ether in this one. And I'm also going to go for Mark of Darkness. Well, maybe it would have been better for me to eat one of the assassins now that I think of it, because most of those can do more than 12 damage. That 23 would have been a nice one. Yeah, I didn't really think that through. So taking 10 damage a turn makes that stuff quite costly. Okay, but we're able to take him out. Good. Should still have more health by the end of this, but I'll take what I get. And with this, we can pick a Cleric, a Zealot of the Circle, or bonused Ether. I would kind of like some of these, but we're going to settle for Ether just because, again, my inventory's full here. So we should be ascending to an even scarier God of Blood. Summons a Bone Horror on turn 6. It gains the base stats of all dead allies. You've ascended to the Supreme God of Blood. Now, if you can give me a quick minute here, I did put something on charge, and I would like to just see where that's at. So it's not going to be a full-on break. It'll only take a second or two, but I'm going to just head out. I also noticed that I haven't seen a lot of chat activity since the crash. Now, if that's just because people don't want to talk, I'm completely fine with that. I actually really don't like calling out lurking. You know, as far as I'm concerned, as long as yeah, thank you, Algrids. Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, as long as people are enjoying themselves, I'm happy. But I also didn't want to. I didn't want to. How do I put it? I didn't want to seem too standoffish. Yeah, well, you know, Algrids, again, I should probably just get on with my charging and come back, but this is one of the unexpected delights of sort of the deck building part of this, which is just the sheer nonsense that you can sometimes get away with the combos. The big struggle I have with this game is that sometimes I'm not very good at picking starting conditions, and so that really hurts me later on. But I sort of feel like once a run sort of takes off, there are some things that emerge that are like, okay, yeah, this is totally my thing. Anyways, back in a moment. Okay, thank you all for your patience. Let us see what the Supreme God of Blood gets up to in the next area. The frozen plateau, no force has been able to melt the ice in the plateau, not the hottest magma golems, the strongest fire magic, nor even the brightest suns. We will be up against a cave imp, summons angry imps on death. Crystal Ogre captures all adjacent northern cities. The Hermit on death buffs all enemies on the battlefield, and the Stone Weaver creates fortresses that deal damage to adjacent units. All right, this is definitely going to be a challenge. So I can go to the crossroads a couple of times. I can go to the chamber, although I don't think I'm that much stronger in terms of my points. I think I'm just going to double up the crossroads. Yeah, we are not giving up the Darkblade Assassin. I think I'm just going to settle for the death energy here. We can acquire another spellcraft plus 1 mana whenever you use a spell or an auxiliary skill, works 2 times per battle. Blood Spatter upon an ally's death adds plus 1 attack to all adjacent allies. Nonsense. Pure nonsense. Pay 60 ether to acquire a copy of my talent Planned Assault. Spend at least 3 mana in 1 turn to grant plus 2 attack to all allies, or pay 60 ether to acquire another copy of Divine Inspiration. I'll definitely take more Divine Inspiration. Alright. And the continent is shattered in half. Oh, Jesus Christ. By Fighting Spirit, enemies gain +4/+3 on attack. So, this is a counterbalance to our strategy with the assassins. They're going to have a source to regenerate with. not recreating the continent. I'm going to put my shrine in the top right corner like that. So this is a difficult little batch to chase down. I think I'm just going to have to content myself with the fact that we might have some early casualties. But the goal right now is going to be to eat as much of the damage that these guys do as we can. Let's watch the magic happen. So the key here with the volcanic swords is we're going to want to put two of the lava tiles down here first. I'll probably put one down here as well. And there's going to be two things that I do as well to try and push things to my advantage. I'm going to put one assassin down here, and then I'm actually going to put an assassin down here, and they're going to just sort of stumble around a bunch of these lakes to try and make them dangerous. So again, buffs for our people first. Now they're probably going to wind up taking this fortress. I don't think it'll be this turn though, because they'll get knocked down by 3. Which will actually be a problem for these two. We'll see. Now one problem here is going to be if this tile goes down, presumably all the enemies spawn in here. So I might want to voluntarily turn this into lava at some point. Okay. I think we continue with our assassin nonsense. I guess I did say I was going to have someone start munching these lakes. Do I want to make a cursed spirit? Yes. Damn you. Oh, nope. That still doesn't count. I was hoping I'd get the northern city, but that's life. We'll work on it. So it did just occur to me, this thing's probably not going to wind up being 10 attack for the Bone Horror when it winds up generating. We are doing a pretty good job keeping this guy at bay, though. Okay, so start with lava here, but like I said, I might consider doing something to that frozen lake. Interesting. I am gonna settle for another assassin, and again, this is partly about just putting some more units that are gonna wind up getting buffed. Intimidate on the shrine. Friendly. Does anybody want to take advantage of the biggest possible deal, or the deal of a lifetime is what I meant to say. Alright, I'm just removing that potential liability here. So this should end the wave, yeah. Oh, you jerks. You absolute jerks. There is not a lot for me to go with. This one should knock the unit off the edge, so that gives me something here. Random ally is always nice too. And I will... Well, that's a shame actually. If I... Oh, you know what? No! God damn it! I thought they meant destroy the hex, not the time. Oh, Jesus. Alright. This is even worse. So let's get the curse on this guy. Oh, that's right. Took away some of my shrine's attack. I need to stop doing that. It's a regen on the shrine, but I think that's more of a liability for us than anything at this point. There are no really good options for this guy right now. Oh, he's dead. I guess it's something for the Bone Horror to work with, but... Oh, maybe not. This guy's gonna wind up maroon, though. I'm gonna get my city. Oh, you jerk! You're attacking the wrong guy. That could not have gone worse. Oh my god! Ah. Traversable tile to an adjacent hex. I think I'm just gonna have to settle for execute here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here, this is gonna seem super counterintuitive, but I'm actually going to stay idle for the next 2 turns. I do have a plan here. So the problem right now is that this unit has a very high floor that it's kind of working with. And I need to address that first. Okay, the Bone Horror is a bit of a delicate thing here. I'll content myself with spawning it next to the bad guy, but... Ah, that's right! I guess it's better than something that saps my... Okay. Yeah, this thing doesn't actually have that much damage. Okay, so like I said, I am holding off, and the plan is to use Unholy Touch to swap the attack of these 2 units, and then we follow up with a bunch of Darkblade Assassins to basically just drain this guy every turn. So we wind up taking a bunch of damage on the shrine, but we're minimizing the total amount of damage that it will take over the course of the turn, or the encounter. So we should be up to 3 mana. Yeah. So we go Unholy Touch. Thank you. Now again, this guy's going to build up their attack reasonably soon, and we're actually running out of spots to put assassins, so our ability to reduce their damage is going to fall short. But we'll do the best that we can with what we have available, and again, mitigate as much of the damage as possible to the shrine. So here we'll put down Darkblade Assassin. Thank you very much for your continued subscription through Prime. I hope you are well. I appreciate it immensely. And you're going to be drowned out by the opening of the Ark of the Covenant. This guy's gonna start feeling a little nervous. All right, more lava. So we're gonna put these in the places that threaten the shrine first. Bye. You're joking. I don't even get to curse this guy. An ally of your choice devours all adjacent allies and gains their stats. Surround the shrine with rock walls, freeze any 2 units, and gain 5 ether. I do like the idea of freezing them. I think I'm gonna... Well, you know, rock walls might actually... No, rock walls will let them attack and become stronger. So yes, we are going to freeze them with the Great Ice Blast. That's not a permanent thing, but at least gives me the time to apply some curses. I gotta be really careful with the order I do some of this stuff in. This is the unit I want to kill more. So this unit's not going to move. They're going to target this one, so... Now, there's a reason I let them do that. It's because they're going to attack this unit and apply the curse, which means the lava is going to hit twice. This unit's also going to wind up cursed, so they either wind up in the drink or they wind up in the lava with the bone horror. I don't think it matters where the lava goes at this point. Well, this would matter because we potentially lose the... So again, the key here was about applying that curse, which we got, so they're going to get hit twice by the lava field when the time comes. And another thing I can do is I can actually delay the time where they arrive with the against the enemy unit by putting down another assassin. Assuming that the cursed spirits don't move, which they will not. Oh, sorry. I promise I'll never snack again. No. I shouldn't snack again. So again, I am doing a little bit of damage to myself by putting these units in, but it's really the only option that I have in some of these cases. I'm also going to make sure that I don't kill my units with the water. These are pretty strong, so if I can get them involved, great. I just think it's a little much to ask at this point. So what I can hope for is delaying the enemy here. We still want this one to fall. So again, I don't expect this unit to survive, but what I do expect is that they will block this unit from being able to attack the shrine next turn. And of course, they buff the shrine themselves. Well, not just the shrine, but the surrounding. allies. So they'll die to the allies next turn. So this unit's no joke. We also want to deal with them. But of course, this was the one we were more concerned about because they were closer to the shrine and had weaker allies to go through. So now we're going to start working on this guy. There we go. I even get to put a lava down. Just as a treat. Okay. So the fact that we get all this energy from my dark spells is kind of nice. Just because that's going to be improving the Beacon of Souls. Although presumably I have to buy it up. Phantom Mountain, Impassable Tile, disappears in 2 turns. Thunderbolt. I think we're just going to go for the direct damage. Like, Bloodlord's kind of nice, but it just doesn't work with what I've got right now. So do we have one more island? I think we have one more island before... Nope. Ecumena. So I don't believe I've done this one yet. So Ecumena, beneath Ecumena are endless dungeons, once used to shelter the wicked. Those who wanted to avoid the war against the gods found their refuge there. Gorthon Valorian, incredibly powerful, but cannot move and attack for a while. Okay, this'll be character building, I think. I think the chamber is probably where I want to go here, and I'll want to reserve... I'll probably want to reserve most of my ether. Okay, so it looks like I automatically get the point. I think I screwed up then. Yeah, that's a shame. So I thought I actually needed to buy that ultimate. It looks like I don't. And I don't see how I would be able to buy my one. Okay, so that's a shame. I just wasted one of those paths. So what I would have done instead, I would have, or well, I don't get to see the alternatives. But we're gonna pay up. So growth, creating any tile on an adjacent hex upgrades the ability, making it trigger +1 more time. Each turn, all adjacent allies attack enemies immediately if possible. I think I'm going to go for the fire energy, even though it may not mean that much. I can sell... Yeah, no, that is kind of the key to the strategy. Okay, second copy of Emerald Defender works for me. So we'll see whether or not this costs me the boss fight. Create some volcanoes on the continent, presumably not close to Lorien, and enemies apply poison 3 on attack. That is going to be a challenge. But let's see how this battle shapes up. Gorthon Valorian, Stone King. Oh, Jesus. This looks like something scary. All right. So, passive. In 4 turns, regains the ability to move and attack, then immediately takes 5 turns in a row. Okay. On attack adds +3/+1 to this unit, and on attack applies poison 3 to target. So Gorthian's second ability is presumably the +3/+1? Anyway, it's pretty clear what we need to do here. So, replace the shrine. We will... So I'd love to be able to destroy these places of power, but we don't have that right now. So instead, I'm going to settle for Darkblade Assassins galore. Can't put it by the volcano, that's basically a death wish. I am tempted to put an assassin here, but I'm going to resist the urge. So basically, we just want to feast on this guy as much as we can. And then, of course, the other thing we want to do is eat up its places of power. But that is going to be pretty easy because I've got 5 units pounding away at this guy. So, I want to be careful with how I do this, but I am going to try bringing this assassin in. Okay, they're doing exactly what I want them to do. And it did occur to me that actually if we lose some assassins, the bone horror just gets stronger, so I think we are actually going to pile on this guy. There's every incentive in terms of what my abilities do to sacrifice these assassins. In fact, if I want, I can also get rid of the volcano, but we'll save that for later. Soul Drain into 3 Cursed Spirits. I can see this working in other circumstances, but not right now. As many of these tiles as we can. I believe next turn he gets to take his 5. There is no real prep I can do for this, so we're just gonna take the turn. Double it up, why not? I got the blood splatter is actually a nice side effect. This is going to be an insurance... Actually, this is the insurance policy. Because if he winds up moving further away from me, that's just more turns to do my thing. Run for your lives! The Reaper is coming! guess we get to find out what his secondary ability is. Okay. He gets a hell of a lot of damage is what his ability is. But we do have the people to eat his, oh, wait a minute, yes. He's just gonna become preposterously powerful doing this. Well, that's fine, because we've got hell on earth as far as lava coming up. This is a liability for surrounding units. I'm just going to have to take my lumps. Now, I think there's a really interesting possibility here. So there's one big temptation I have, of course, is to do Unholy. Actually, Unholy Touch is way too tempting to do. It's a huge problem that he is actually... it's a huge problem that he has taken this tile. But I do have a plan. So I'm going to take this guy here. Now he should move to the frozen lake. We're not going to do anything else because I want to... Oh, actually, even better. These guys might get pummeled by the fortress. There's not a whole lot that I can do about that, but I can definitely start putting down some lava. Regen, my brother. All adjacent. All right. So yeah, we just got wrecked. This is a huge problem. Oh man, he's gonna be raging when he gets to the Enchanted Mountain. Oh, that's no good. What are you doing? Don't touch that. It's bad for you. So, I mean, he's not long for this world, but that's nice that that happened. I also did not realize it had been four turns. I feel like, yeah, that feels premature. Okay. So this unit's actually going to trigger the abandoned tower. So I guess I have the option of trying to swap attacks, but that's not actually the strongest move right now. Well, okay, it sort of is because he'll just be attacking and get even more damage. All right, there is a way of there's a way of thoughtfully handling this. One unit down like so, and I wait. Oh, he didn't even get his attack. Okay. So this should damage him now. What are you doing? Stop that! So that's a liability. It is a tough environment for a bone horror right now. We're gonna do our best. So the best I can do here is swap out... So yeah, I'm so good at buffing my people that... I'm very curious to see how this finishes. Yeah, like I totally don't get how this guy moves. Oh, I get it. Okay, no, he just moves like a normal unit after his slow start. Okay, that makes a little more sense. I'm gonna use this unit to recapture the fortress. And then the rest should basically be like normal combat. Right. Okay. That is actually a problem. I need a stronger unit to actually be able to take it. We should take it next turn, though, so... Well, they're gonna die to the fortress. I wasn't really thinking of that. I hope this unit actually takes the fortress. That's another factor I didn't really think of. Thank the Maker. So it's obviously going to get miserable for us in a turn when these mountains move. It'd be nice if I can put down lava. Which I should be able to. Interesting. So he's going to get his buffs from the northern city doing that. That's also bought me some time. It's actually also made his movements more unpredictable now that I think of it. Okay, so we're going to have a couple people moving in interesting ways. I don't really have a super survivor, so... That just screwed me. See ya. Buff all those units that can't attack. And are gonna die to the volcano soon. Oh, this could not have gone worse for me. All my good units are gonna get just completely lost. Okay, I don't even know where this guy's actually gonna go. I could try and save my units with the whole volcano thing, but I'm gonna stick to the strategy and keep the lava down. Okay, so he's gonna start buffing himself a little bit more, but that's obviously not the buff I'm worried about. I get to build up towards this, so we're going to end the turn. God damn it, but I need a weak unit to attach this to. So this unit's gonna fall. Tricky. So I need 4 turns to be able to savage this guy. I have a contingency plan in mind, but it's not going to be pretty. So summon them now. So they'll take some respectable damage from the lava field and presumably the ocean, but then they're going to get a big hit, and then they're also going to buff from that hit, and I'm going to have to wait 2 turns of that nonsense. Still, I mean, having him down at 33 health when he's actually in a position to, like, really mess with me, I think that is acceptable. In fact, I'm not even going to be able to do this switch. Mark of Darkness is sufficient to take him out. Cool, that's the very first time we've seen that boss, and I think that was a pretty convincing win. So this would normally have been where the early access ends, but I believe there is one further final act, and it's the first time I will see this new act. I can get Spark of Fire, Spark of Death, or Death Energy. Death Energy is tempting, but I think I'm going to do a second Death Spark just to see what doubling that up will do. Act completed. Forethought. The northern lands are known far and wide as the greatest center of trade on the planet. You can destroy the trade routes, but maintaining them will provide your army with food and weapons for years to come. Gain 65 ether at the start of the next run. All capital letters, so that someone doesn't feel too mad about it. I mean, that's, to be fair, I've got enough. The shrine is indestructible for the first 9 destroys the shrine at the end of... Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Indestructible for the first 9 turns. Yeah. Oh god. My strategy is not built around that kind of a rush. After numerous battles, the shrine became fragile as it was getting covered with more cracks. There is no substitute for the special material the shrines are made from, but souls of the slain dwarves may be suitable as a temporary replacement. You call upon the dark magic to transform their spirits into solid stones and make your shrine stronger than ever. The northern clans worship winter, but not you. Out of spite, you rain fire magic across their snowy landscape, causing a fatal flood that extinguishes the light of each and every northerner. So creates 2 random beneficial tiles on random hexes each turn, and then blocks 1 random skill each turn. So I think the thing is that I've got 6, so it's like a 1 in 6 chance that it's the one I don't want to get taken out. But I feel that that is itself a pretty substantial risk, and the idea of random beneficial tiles on random hexes can also potentially take out lava. So I'm going to put Forethought. Losing 10 mana is, or 10 ether is not that bad. Unless it's an enemy that... Alright. The heavens. World Peak. This mountain was once home to the gods, and now serves only as a reminder of your loss. Clear sky, no natural disaster will happen on this continent, and fighting spirit, enemies gain +4/+4 on attack. Okay. I am slightly tempted on the crossroads. But it does mean that I'm not able to do much with the Spark of Death. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Poisonous Blood, the Shrine, and all adjacent allies apply 2 poison when attacked. Let's go for it. Pay up the bonus. 10 shrine health, or another arcane arrow. Yeah, no, arcane arrows. All the damage. Not enough. So, we're going to put that all into those death sparks. Let's see what we're up against. The Renegade God summons units of 2 elements and reshapes the battlefield. Okay. Oh, the music just got serious. The Renegade God, the Betrayer. Interesting. Very interesting. This is going to suck for my shrine at the start, by the way. But whenever any unit to summon creates as many hexes next to it as possible. So that actually helps me here. This is kind of a suicide squad at the start. was originally going to do Mark of Darkness, but this is actually going to work pretty well for me here. I want to be a little careful about how many more tiles I add. Let's at least try and combine these. My strategy here is basically going to be... Oh man, it summons it on a random hex. Okay, I should have paid closer attention to that. I think at this point we just go balls to the wall and try and finish this as soon as possible. Don't have a lot of great options here. I'm not going to put the... So, yeah, obviously I don't want to put stuff next to my shrine. Oh, yeah, I gotta be careful about that. What I want to do is I want to expand these tiles as much as possible so that the summons wind up in inconvenient places. But I also need to replenish my, my Suicide Squad. Okay, not great, but we can manage it. The Elementalist's ability is actually quite a danger to the shrine. So I'm thinking... Just keep stealing health from the shrine. And I'm gonna turn you into Curse Spirits. The Elfish Temple is a prime candidate for lava when the time comes. So I'm trying to think of conditions under which these two guys die. Because, like, the way I'm sort of thinking about this right now is effectively just ignore the enemy units here and focus as much as we can on the enemy shrine. Would have been nice if I could get a curse on this guy, though. Christ almighty. So maybe this is a time for the Thunderbolt. Because they're going to basically bombard the units here. I think we just keep bringing in reinforcements. Works for me. It's a slow and steady approach, but it works. My only regret is that I didn't get the curse on these two when I had the chance. That's going to be a bit of a liability, but not, it's not a disaster yet. So Plague Boar is going to cause poison, which is my bigger worry here. I'm a little worried by the fact that this guy seems to be sort of trapped. Ooh, I didn't think it was death that did that. Okay, so I have a little bit more of a ticking clock on this encounter, but we're gonna keep with the strategy for the shrine. Do almost 30 damage a turn plus the poison. So I think this could be a win. There's a lot of ways this can go wrong too, though, so. I guess I don't get to see where everybody's moving this time around. Ooh, it's gonna put some poison on my allies, actually. Bone Horror might tip the scales, though. Okay, well that's good news. It's 2 turns where they're going to get hit by that. Again, we didn't do any of the curses on them, but I almost can't really see how that can happen at this point. This is going to be a problem. I think leaving something for this unit to move is a good move to is a good idea. I guess I can put the guy down here. That does open up more territory, but I think the kind of that's already happened. Like, I don't think I'm preventing anything by doing that. This guy definitely needs to kill the boar. Hello, Tiberiosity. Very good to see you. How have you been? All right. Enjoy your lurk. Stay well. Your lurk may still allow you to see a big win or a big heartbreak. No! Oh Christ, this is gonna get tough. I'm gonna summon the Bone Horror here. It's like it's a risky play, but I think it's my only real option. I am lucky that this thing got annihilated by the curse. So we'll take some damage here, but we're also going to recover all of the... Oh, what did the 2 poison? Basically, this is a more survivable enemy that's going to continue to bring the hurt on the enemy shrine. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here... it pains me to do it, but I am going to let this guy hit the shrine. Yeah, let's see what happens here. I might be wasting mana, but if I summon another Darkblade Assassin, I get a boost to everyone else, so I'm going to do that. So again, the whole thing here is just doing as much damage as possible to that enemy shrine before we get our comeuppance. Eight damage on one of my primary damage dealers each turn is no joke. This guy's got 3 turns left in him. Not even, because this guy's going to blow up. There really isn't anywhere else for me to put lava down at this point. That was a promising number. They'll die to the lava field, but of course they're going to have a big poison explosion. I don't think there's anywhere else for me to put these things at this point. So we'll continue to make a lava field just because it makes me feel safe. But next turn should be the win. So he just poisons. Yeah, that's brutal. I'm glad we're warning next turn. And in fact, do it the proper way, shrine to shrine. Oh, maybe not. Era didn't want to cooperate. There we go. First time we did that hard, and that is the first time we have beaten 1.0 Godless. Decide the fate of the world. Feel like we should have chat interaction for this. Restore nature. Next run, there are cleansed seals on all continents. Teleports the shrine to an adjacent hex and adds +1/+4. Reign over it. Next run, all allies and enemies have +2/+2. Interesting. Curse for Eternity. Next run, the Sanctuary and Crossroads always offer at least one rare bonus, but discounts are never provided at other locations. Let's be nice. Okay, 10 continents destroyed, 750 points, 129 units and tiles created, 645. 1 gem crafted for 55, 7 talents learnt for 210, 1 scroll used for 15, 3 speed rewards for 390, 70 in the Ethereal Vault, and 250 for Apocalypse. Total of 3,935 skill points. I am going to hit the new game button, not because I plan on doing a new game. That actually finished basically at the 3-hour mark, which was wonderful. But I do want to see what the new difficulty mode is. Extreme! Enemies start on level 4. There are 2 Elvish temples every battlefield. I am very happy that this game developer feels that they can express themselves in such unique and creative ways, but 2 Elvish temples? Are you kidding me? Anyways, we are not dealing with that tonight. Let's see what we can put in the library. It is tempting to unlock the new shrine types, but this is also a rare chance for us to buy some of the stuff we've been sitting on. So, Good Omen, discounts and rare power-ups at locations between continents, choose a scroll at the start of each run, attempts to recreate continents, change the marker's appearance, more ether as a battle reward is a tempting one. No, we gotta start with those, and then we'll do the magic absorption. We don't have enough there. Don't have enough to unlock another shrine, too. So... oh, I should have chosen a talent at the start of each run. That would have actually been very strong. But yes. I will confess, there is a side of me that actually wants to try unlocking a few of these shrines, more than more than new difficulties, but I think what I might try the next time I play Godless, we've got the Magma Shrine. Now this is one where I actually got to do some straight up nonsense when it was first introduced. One thing I like about this is that in theory you can see how it might position itself in a place where, ooh, several northern cities belong to enemies for the start. Okay, so it depends on the acts. Catacombs move to random hexes every few turns. Okay, cool. But yeah, the mobility of this strikes me as a little bit of an advantage. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like we go to the level that we we struggle with, and then we proceed accordingly. But before I wrap up for tonight, what did you all think of that? I thought that was a really great way to end. Um, I felt challenged, but I didn't feel overwhelmed during those runs. And obviously, you got to hear my reactions to it, right? Like I definitely thought we were going to fall apart on a couple of those. So this is really well. Like so, I like this during early access, and again, it's the game's publisher at the time. It is now self-published. Did give me a key for the game, which I I was very grateful for, but it's definitely something that I think because I tend not to play a lot of auto battlers, I like it's hard for me to think of a set of circumstances under which I would have tried this without that kind of nudge. But I'm really, really glad that I was given the opportunity to share this with you, because like I haven't just enjoyed following it during its development. I actually thought that was a really satisfying way to end the game. And I guess the last thing that I'll say about this is that it's encouraging. I've had a little bit of a hobby horse for a while in terms of the idea of, like, for lack of a better term, like originality, or how I sometimes get a little discouraged when I look at um, the the new releases section on Steam, and sometimes it just looks like, here's a popular game and here's a low budget version of it. And you can, again, like, I get it, like, you want to make things that people want to play, and obviously commercial success is a really good indication of what people want to play. But I would definitely love to see more stuff like Godless, where people are like, oh, so it's kind of like Slay the Spire, in the sense of, yes, you need to think about where you're going down this path, and all of the upgrades that you're taking, the deck building elements to it, but combining it with something that I never would have imagined. Like I said, this is the first auto battler that I've played that I've actually stuck with. And I like Dota, Auto Chess started as a Dota mod, but it just ultimately wasn't something that spoke to me. And yet for this game, it's worked so well. And I really hope this game is rewarded for its original take. Originality just for its own sake is obviously a bit of a trap. But I like that this game took this idea and just really made it sing. And especially too, because you can see, someone like me that is a bit of a control freak for the units, like, you can see how some people would, like, play a game like this and be like, oh, these stupid movement units don't know where to move, I'm mad, so there's like a risk that you take on by doing this, but man, this game really, really delivered in all the different ways. So I will confess, I am feeling quite overwhelmed in terms of the number of games that I'm playing. So the one thing I just want to give an indication for is I believe next week is the local game dev meetup. Following that, I might juggle around a few of the games that I play over the course of the week just so I can, like, finish some stuff. But the fact that I am not playing Godless after completing the fourth act doesn't mean I'm completely done with it, right? All that I want to just indicate on that is that, I've enjoyed the game. I hope you all give it a try. If you are a streamer and you are thinking of playing this game, get in touch. Yeah, I'm actually happy that if I have to have a couple of weeks where I might not be able to play this, I'm actually really happy we ended on this way, because it's that is a satisfying ending, and man, being able to just balance all that stuff together and see a strategy work together. In some ways, it is really the same sort of feeling as, seeing a perfect turn be executed in Phantom Brigade. That is a real a real fun and special moment. Now, again, I did want to reiterate the streamer thing, because right now we would have been hosting another Godless streamer, but there isn't one online, and so I'm sort of stuck in terms of what I can do. I do, however, see that Revived Snow is playing Grand Theft Auto 5, so I will leave you in their capable hands. And the Revived Snow is a text-to-speech, so camless and voiceless to a certain extent streamer. Quite enjoyable to watch. Somebody from Toronto, I believe, so fellow Canadian. And actually, I got to see one of the new raids in Grand Theft Auto 5, so I'm kind of interested in seeing what they have to show as well. In any case, I will be back Friday, most likely for Cyberpunk. Again, if you are here for Godless or you're here for the Wednesdays only, I will not be streaming next Wednesday just because of the local game dev meetup. But all the other days I will be there. And I am aware of the fact that I've been streaming progressively later. I did just finish 2 big projects today, and it felt great to finish those. So today's actually been a surprisingly happy day. So thank you all for that. Master Crowther, I know you went a little quiet at the end, but I hope things are picking up for you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for even thinking of me, because I know it's been a while. And of course, even whether you're new or whether you have been here for such a long time, I never want to take any of you for granted. Thank you for showing some support over that. Please do enjoy Revived Snow's journey through Grand Theft Auto 5. Talk to you later.